If you clicked on this video, you've probably watched a ton of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 content already, most likely learned that the game is fantastic, but also not for everyone.
Not going to be for everybody.
So who's the game for then? Is it for you or is it not for you? Look no further. In this video I'm going to help you find out if you are the target audience by giving you 6 points, 6 reasons you might love Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Not gonna yank your pizzle, and also by subscribing you're helping me reach my 2025 goal of 10,000 subscribers. I'd appreciate that. Cheers.
Thanks, friend. I owe you one.
Right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you that if you can't stomach games that work well out of the box, it don't require tinkering with the settings or third-party AI upscaling apps, you'll absolutely hate Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Yuck! It's disgusting. It's hard to believe that the sequel to a pretty buggy Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 would be so polished and optimized out of the box. Even on my 5-year-old rig, KCD2 runs like a beaut with a mix of high and ultra settings. No stuttering, no ridiculous texture pop-ins, no NPC pop-ins. Crazy, I know. The second half of the game is not as polished and there are a few buggy quests, like quests you can't finish. It's annoying, but it didn't stop me from enjoying, playing the game. For example, at some point you meet a character that teaches you swordsmanship, and one of the combos you need to perform to progress doesn't work properly if you're using a gamepad, it looks like. It is fine with mouse and keyboard though. There's even a thread on Reddit people go to express their displeasure with this. For more info in regards to the performance, check out Digital Foundry's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 tech review. The link is in the description, and my specs are there too if you're curious. Next up, I think that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is for you if you enjoy difficulty curves and challenges. And this is where I think you need to pay close attention if you're still unsure. A lot of people say that the game is difficult, and I somewhat agree, but I think the curves there mostly because it just does everything differently. For example, to brew a potion, you have to pick flowers and herbs first, then you need to learn the recipe, then you need to find an alchemy bench and follow the instructions step by step, because the quality of the potion depends on how precise you are. Same with blacksmithing. To craft a weapon you have to participate in a series of mini-games that like 20 or something years ago would have looked like actual full-fledged games. Same with pickpocketing, lockpicking. And look, I'm not saying that performing like 10 actions to brew a potion is difficult. It's not. It actually can be pretty mundane and boring depending on what kind of player you are. What is difficult though is starting the game with like zero money, practically naked, and trying to figure out how to make some. Because money buys you food, and if you don't eat, you starve. Money buys you a place to sleep and save, because if you don't rest in a bed, you can fall asleep on the go and have your boots stolen from you. And nights are very, very dark. However, the combat in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is what can throw a lot of people off. It's actually really addictive. It's smooth once you get the hang of it. The game punishes you hard. Your stamina is like 1,000 times more important than your health. Running out of it leaves you extremely vulnerable. What armor you're wearing is important. What weapon you're using is important. For example, slashing damage would not be as effective against plate armor as blunt damage. On top of that, the game doesn't communicate some things very well through tutorials. Some of them kind of make you stick to patterns that don't work that well outside those tutorials. For example, in the opening hours of the game, you train with Capon and are taught how the perfect block riposte combination works. And it kind of makes you think that every time you do a perfect block, you have to do a riposte as you would do in a Souls game. Whereas in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, it's not a very effective tactic because your riposte can be perfect blocked back to you and more often than not it ends up with this like endless back and forth until you run out of stamina completely.
Do it!
Though you can learn from a random loading screen tip that performing perfect blocks and not following them up with a riposte, kind of fighting defensively for a while, lets you restore stamina because perfect blocks don't drain your stamina. See, it's all these quirky mechanics, medieval gun porn mini games that make the game challenging. And if you love overcoming this kind of challenges and constantly getting rewarded for getting better at something, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is for you. Let's move on. You'll definitely love KCD2 if you're into good stories and good writing. When was the last time you played an RPG with not just a good main story, but also meaningful, substantial, handcrafted side quests? Well, like 2015? The main story is great. The characters are compelling, interesting, well written, but in my opinion, the side quests in KCD2 is the shit. I mean, you can spend 40 to 60 hours doing side content before moving on to the first main quest. All the side quests are separate handcrafted stories with like twists and character arcs and decisions, different outcomes. Sometimes your decisions even impact different side quests and random encounters. There are no generic bring me 10 bare asses quests. Some actually start like that but eventually lead to something substantial. Look, it's really hard to give you an example without spoiling something, so I'm gonna talk about this one minor part of a side quest chain, and here's a time code for you if you want to skip it. So there's this one shepherd who asks you to kill a pack of wolves for him and suggests that you bring one of his sheep named Ignatius with you to use as bait, warning you that Ignatius is very dumb and also giving you a carrot to like dangle in front of it. You can either bring Ignatius with you or leave it with the shepherd. So I obviously, as a faithful vegetarian person, brought Ignatius with me and used it as bait. Unfortunately, Ignatius died, but you know, I finished the quest and moved on. So my wife, on the other hand, left Ignatius with the shepherd, finished the quest, and then later on met an NPC that was complaining about somebody selling him an extremely dumb sheep that ran away and asked you to look for it. Also give you a carrot because that sheep apparently loves it. So you guessed it. And look, yeah, it's minor. It's nothing special. And at first glance, it doesn't change the big picture. But if you think about it, it actually does. It's attention to detail. It's these little things that make side quests in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 so special and the world so reactive. Also, if you're gonna try it, I strongly recommend playing KCD2 with a notebook on the side, because oftentimes things verbally said by the NPCs do not reflect in your quest journal.
You're a little scary. You know that?
And next up, if you like it when devs support their single player games for like longer periods of time, KCD2 might be up your alley. Okay, this point is 50% fact and 50% my speculation. Facts first. There's an official KCD2 roadmap trailer video, and according to it, this spring we're getting some free content updates like barbershops, horse racing, and hardcore mode. I'm super excited for the hardcore mode. In the first game it was amazing. I really hope that KCD2 hardcore mode will be even better. And on top of that, we're getting a minimum of 3 DLCs for KCD2. There's one where you have to help a mysterious artist with an enigmatic past. The second one's called Legacy of the Forge, where you'll have to restore Kuttenberg's forge and become a master blacksmith. And the last one will let you explore Sidlet's monastery to stop the spread of the deadly illness. So here's my little speculation. Since Warhorse have a lot of things in store for the game, it's very likely that the support will also not end anytime soon. And paired together with my next point, there's a chance that KCD2 will become a new Skyrim in terms of longevity.
You certainly best in talking shit.
I'm talking about upcoming official mod support. It is crazy how important having the official modding tools is for the game's longevity, for any game's longevity. First game never got mod support, and it's really cool that we're getting it this time. There's not much info about it. The post on Steam says Bohemia is about to get even more exciting. Official modding support is coming to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 on Steamworks. Stay tuned for more details on how you'll be able to create, tweak, and expand your medieval adventure. I couldn't find any information about if the console players are getting it as well. Here it says Steamworks, that's Steam Workshop, so I guess we'll have to wait for more information. But you can subscribe to the channel because I'll let you know more as soon as I learn something myself. Hopefully everyone gets a chance to let Henry wield a fish and ride a zebra. And finally, I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is for you if you like immersion in video games. Immersion is one of the game's strongest aspects, in my opinion. I'm a sucker for immersive sandbox games where you can entertain yourself by simply walking around and enjoying the nature and the reactivity of the world. KCD2 is perfect for those who like to slow down for a bit, you know, breathe it in. The last game that did let me do that and feel extremely immersed, like I was really there, was Red Dead Redemption 2. Well, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is the closest to RDR2 we're going to get in the foreseeable future, I guess. Don't quote me on that. The world is extremely reactive to your actions and your appearance. If you stink, NPCs react to it. If you're naked, NPCs react to it. If you're drunk, you fart. If you're covered in blood, some might get scared. Some might decide to see how tough you actually are. NPCs have their schedules, they close their homes and shops before going to sleep. They engage in conversations that can add point of interest markers to your map. Sometimes they talk about something you were involved with recently. If you steal somebody's armor, for example, and put it on, the owner might later see you, recognize it, and call the gods on you. Stealing stuff in the village without getting noticed will make the villagers more tense. They will start commenting on it, carrying weapons with them at all times. And the wilderness is fun too. For example, you can find bandit and poacher camps that are empty during the day because they're out poaching and plundering, and then poison their food, wait for them to come back, and then eat the food and shit themselves. When traveling on foot, you meet merchants on carts. Sometimes they offer you a ride and engage in a conversation with you. It feels so random. It's so not scripted. It's very entertaining. So bottom line, I genuinely love that there are still games made for like niche audiences. I'm a huge fan of KCD 1, and KCD 2 is everything I wanted from the sequel, and then some. Thank you very much for making it this far. If you liked the video or it was helpful to you in any shape or form, leave a like, share it with friends. It helps the channel grow. Check out my other socials. All the links are in the description. Thanks for watching. See ya.